go to the person has papers in their hands. Okay, I'm new to stand-up. I've only had 3 paid gigs before tonight. Yep, that's right. I paid $99 for a level 0 stand-up class. So I'm professionally trained. I think this might be a little bit more like storytelling, but it will certainly be better than if I was singing. So that's something that I have a wealth of public speaking experience. I do improv, I'm a wedding officiant. But I had one engagement that was very special. I was interviewed on the street, and the reel got millions of views and hundreds of thousands of likes and shares. So I'm just wondering, like, anybody out there, if you had one opportunity to share one of your most profound and closely held beliefs, what would you say? Anybody have just something very special? Nothing. Well, you guys don't think as quickly as I do, because I, without hesitation, this is what I said. I went back and watched it and wrote this down. Number one, I don't think most Americans are very intellectual. Very sweet, very thoughtful, right? And number two, most people don't have the cognitive ability to question what they're reading or seeing. Yeah. So watch out, Brene Brown. Really, this was a segment with Don Lemon in Union Square when TikTok was about to be banned. And we got her autograph. Yeah. So, like, not surprisingly, the feedback on TikTok was different than the other platforms. So here's some highlights from TikTok. I don't like her or her opinions. I think that was actually my brother, but that's fine. She's not on TikTok, acting like she knows what happens on TikTok. Very complex. And then just the word elitism, ELITEISM. But the comments were very favorable on other platforms. They were all different combinations, like, I want to be her friend, or this lady is too smart to be a real American. Woo! And I do like to be told I'm smart. It's like, that's nice, that's my favorite compliment. And also, I mean, look at me, is one of the more consistent ones that I get. But I was also recently referred to as responsible. Yeah. My friend Nicole recently got married, so she texted me the week before and she said, could I ensure that her mother got on the shuttle from the wedding to the reception? And I said, yeah, sure, no problem, right? Yeah, that's great. She said, thanks. I wanted to make sure someone responsible was looking out for her. And so it turns out this compliment on my ability to make sure that something makes it from one place to another was a little premature. The wedding was in Brasilia, which is the administrative capital of Brazil. I took off from JFK to Sao Paulo, and then I took a second flight to Brasilia. My checked bag, on the other hand, took off from JFK and then remained in Sao Paulo. It turns out I was supposed to pick up the bag and then check it again and then go through security myself. And I didn't know, like, I thought, like, I'm through security, right? So I just fully left my bag, left my bridesmaid dress, left my retainers. That was like really the second thing I was concerned about. So instead of checking the bag, instead of walking with any purpose, I am just traveling through the airport at a casual pace. I bought an iced tea. I've been on a 10-hour flight, right? I did some preliminary people watching. This was my third time out of the country, so I needed to see what was going on. And so when I eventually showed up at the second terminal, the airline rep told me to run. Actually, like, everyone speaks only Portuguese, so it was kind of like a gesture, but she's like, so, you know, looks can be deceiving. But in this case, they're not. I didn't run. I walked at what would certainly be a typical pace for any of you. But, you know, it was like faster than I was going. And so I arrive at security and I cheerfully say to the like Brazilian TSA equivalent, I learned a couple phrases, right? So I go, solo inglês. Only English. And he, he understood this to mean, please haze me. Right? So, you know, everybody knows you cannot take a cup of liquid through security. And so I got this iced tea in my hand, so I handed it to him. And he looks at it and he's like, no, you have to drink it. I don't even know how he communicated it, but like, he won't take the cup. He, like, you need to finish it. And so I'm like, taking big drinks, and then I hand it to him, and he's like, no. Right? There is nobody else in the security line. I think I'm about to miss my flight, and this man stood there and made me drink every last drop of this ice. Fine. And honestly, this interaction was still better than what I was raised to expect on a trip to South America. I moved to New York from West Virginia, my home state, and most people in West Virginia would recommend not traveling at all, because then you can avoid crisis situations like hearing someone speak a language other than English, or being served food flavored with a seasoning other than salt. Right? I already made the bad choice of going. Luckily, I finished the iced tea to satisfaction, made my flight, landed in Brasilia, filed paperwork for my missing luggage, and then went to my hotel. I imagine that the folks back in West Virginia would feel very vindicated to know I made it only a few hours in Brazil before a man took me to an underground room where I was stripped, yes, stripped, blindfolded, and then forced to pay $100 before I could leave. I know, I got a massage at the hotel. I've been flying all day and now the stress of losing my retainers. Anyway, the rest of the trip to Brazil was awesome. Oh, you're laughing at the thought of me maybe dying. That's all right. Anyway, the rest of the trip to Brazil was awesome, and I made it home in one piece. One of the first things that I wanted to do when I got home was play my PlayStation 5. I know, stereotypical. You just see, well, a middle-aged white lady, I bet she's really into video games. That's me. Do we have any gamers here? Woo! Yeah, we're close friends. We're close friends on the Sony PlayStation platform. We are. So my normal friends have introduced me to some normal games. Overcooked, Spyro, yeah, Stardew Valley. These are like nice games that nice people play. And then, I went for the highest subscription level and I did my own research. And I forgot that I had made some people my close friend, which means that they can see like all the games you're playing, how long you've been playing them, how you're doing, right? Until my friend Vince, who was like the nicest person in the whole world, right? Like he will put a positive spin on anything, and he's like, I'm so impressed with the variety of games that you're playing. I haven't even heard of most of these. So like, here's some of the things I did, right? I downloaded a game where I was charged with leading a group of bank robbers. I downloaded a game where I was a baby, which I was no good at despite my experience as a baby. I played one where I learned to cook different types of Indian food, and another where I was farming alien blobs. I played first-person shooter games, hand-to-hand combat games, turn-based strategy games, puzzles, story. I played everything, and like truly a great day in my life during like Q2 2026 is coming home, eating a frozen Celeste brand pizza for one, and just shooting a rifle in every direction. Right? It's great. There's one game that has risen to the top though. My roommate is here tonight. She already knows what's coming. Okay. Let me preface this by saying, my level 0 stand-up instructor advised that self-deprecating humor often doesn't land. So I want to reassure everybody, I'm not embarrassed about this. I'm proud about this. It's actually been hard for me to not tell people about this, so I could save it for now, right? Okay, so back in the day, actually, does anyone want to guess what this game is? No, yeah, okay. So back in the day, I used to play a game called Diner Dash. Yeah, okay, so like time management, it's a simulator. And so I thought, you know what, maybe I'll just search simulator, and I'll see what's out there. And there's a lot of simulators. There's water park simulator. I already know I don't like those in real life. Supermarket manager simulator. This was in the running because I love the game Supermarket Sweep. Hunting 2 simulator. Before I had the police station, I was really into Buck Hunter, so like that one was in the running. There were some that were less interesting to me. Drug Farmer Simulator, and of course, Sex Shop Simulator. And I mean, I know you wouldn't judge me, but like I added like some things like ASAP for it and stuff. So I was very curious, and I would have liked to try that, but I skipped it. There was a game called Jesus Simulator, but it unfortunately was delisted as part of the Sony broader cleanup of low-quality AI-generated games. Another attack on Christianity, right? But I did find out on, like, many Redditors have suggested the game I Am Jesus Christ as an alternative, if you're into that. So anyway, my favorite game is Gas Station Simulator. And it is even more awesome than it sounds. It's not just about pumping gas and sweeping floors. It is a very demanding supply chain management game. I was recently able to expand my warehouse, and I am still struggling to keep things in stock and to purchase things at like preferential pricing. And it has also helped me with my lock picking skills, because when you're pumping the gas, you have the option to break into people's trunks. And lock picking was what kept me from beating the tutorial level of Bank Heist. So like it's skill building. I will mention that one game that did not exist is Accounting Simulator. And so while I'm not embarrassed that I love Gas Station Simulator, what was a little embarrassing is knowing that my actual career is looked upon so poorly that some game developer out there thought that people would be more interested in pretending to be a migrant farm worker than pretending to be an accountant. So that was a thing. So anyway, I really didn't write an ending. I kind of thought I'd get timed out before this. So. If you would like to find me on PlayStation, my handle is Big Bad Tiff.